Hey everybody, this is Glidercat, and it's time to play. We are back in Captain of Industry. Let's pick up where we left off. I have let things run for quite a bit in between episodes, and just did some odds and ends with our mining designations. We might end up doing some more of that, potentially quite a bit more of that this episode, because how I'm routing my rock and sand and all that stuff, it's a little bit disorganized, and our trucks are starting to make some pretty long journeys, longer than I want. What did I do between episodes? We set up this mining designation, I think, last episode. I set it up so these guys can kind of ramp down and start mining iron. These guys are even driving a little bit farther than I would like, but I think they're going to break through here and get closer and closer to this hopper, which is supplying iron to most of these things. So that's one thing. And then I set up a designation here. It's a mine control tower, new mine control tower here called the Middle Mouth Dumping Designation. And it's just allowing us to dump sand, and it's all this area. I think what I want to do is, as we're clearing this land and flattening, when trucks have sand, rather than dumping it all over the place, maybe concentrate all of the sand deposits here between these four huge teeth. We could even put down some more fill designations here to just level 1. And then once this gets filled up, we can extend it and make it level 2 or mound this up. But just try and collect all of the sand that we're mining into this area. That's the idea. So we do want to make use of it. I think we're going to want to mine this and use it for glass production or concrete blocks or whatever. I don't want to just bury it if we don't have to. It'd be nice to try and make use of it. So that's what that is. What's unfinished here, however, is we need a way to conveyor belt that sand over here so trucks aren't making this huge trek. If one of my terraforming trucks picks up one little grain of sand, like literally one grain, they go driving all the way over. The same thing, these guys, if they pick up one little nugget of rock, they'll typically go driving real far away to drop it over here. So we want to change that. We want to improve that. Same thing with these guys. In fact, we're having an issue keeping our coal hopper full. I did between episodes upgrade our coal belt. So this should be level 2, a level 2 U-shaped conveyor all the way through. All these little connectors should be level 2. Watch me find one I missed, like that one. Nope, it's good. But yeah, we're having problems with coal, keeping up with coal, oddly enough. So maybe that's where we start. And again, these guys, it's not so much that we don't have enough excavators or enough trucks, or even that the hopper is too far away. It's that when these guys have a nugget of rock or something, they go running. This guy is going to fuel up. Maybe we need another fuel station around here. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Need to cluster things up over here. But we could do it. We could put a fuel station somewhere, even if it's temporary, right? That might stop a little bit of the crazy traffic. What about right next to this thing? Maybe that's going to be around for a while. Let's see. Let's focus this episode on seeing if we can reduce the amount of trucking, the truck distances that these guys are all driving. It's just a little out of hand at the moment. I'm going to put a truck station right next door here. We are starting to accumulate construction part 3s slowly. We do have a systemic problem here with our concrete slab production, and I guess bricks too. Kind of hate to run this bricks thing because trucks are coming all the way over here to drop off dirt. But one thing at a time. Let's focus on the coal area here, see what we can do to improve things. We want to give these guys a convenient place to drop off their rock. And then we want to move that rock to where we can get rid of it. Where we can get rid of it, it's over here, right? We can dump in this area. All this area could be used to dump our rock down to, or bring this up to 1 above sea level. So what could we do? We need a storage and just a belt, right? How far do we want that storage down? I think this is reasonable enough in this area. Let's do it. I'm going to put storage container. We can always adjust this or refine it. This is a first step to try and reduce the trucking that's going on right here. So this is going to be their storage for rock. Boom. I'm going to link it to my coal mining teams. These two guys. They're right here, I believe. The coal miners team. You guys can take your rock there. And this guy, coal mining team 2. You guys can take your rock there. And then the rock, we're going to just move into a storage container out this way. U-shaped conveyor. Boom. Level 1 is probably just fine. Go nice and tall. Come across. Where do we most want to get rid of this rock? We could belt this quite a ways over and actually have it feed into here somehow. Maybe we can tap into this one or even delete this storage and have that be fed by rock, and we can turn off the truck filling too. The trucks aren't dropping their rock all the way over there when they see it needs to be filled. We could also fork things off of this belt. So let's run this along the coast, and then we'll just see how it ends up being. Boom. Try to minimize my pillars as best I can. That feeds rock into here. We can turn truck imports off. So that alone will save a little trucking. Then, maybe... where do we most want to fill with the rock? Kind of all this area, right? All of this. Along here is kind of important. For our mine, expanding our mine. Not our mind, but our mine. All of this stuff. Let's come this way. Shaped conveyor. This is going to be rock. We want to get rid of it always. Okay, now all of our coal miners are going to drop their rock over here. I hope. And that's close enough. Now we need to... let's make sure there's designations over here for that rock to be... Yeah, there's tons. Should be able to dump that all out here. Right? What else? Now we got to find a place for dirt. Where do we want to route dirt so they're not driving across the island? We do have a little bit of land here that could be filled with dirt. This part right here, if we look at the height, we're 1 above sea level. We'd like to get that 2 above sea level. There's at least a little bit. Let's do a little fill designation here. We're going to need to make sure that's only dirt, though. We can also fill this big area We did, a couple episodes ago, set a big designation here for filling with dirt, but it overlapped and so with another designation that allowed sand, so it was all mixed up with dirt and sand, so I had to take that all back out again. You can probably see the designations here. Yeah, the last half of them are still sitting here. That was a bit of a bummer. But we could put this back now. I think I've got it set up. So there's two overlapping designations. We could start filling this with dirt. Mining designation there. That's not in anybody's range. So my goal with this is we've got a sand mining team. Let's see if we can find where they are. This is our sand mining crew. This is their area of work. In fact, we can make it a little tighter. Like that. My goal is this is where we mine sand for production and production only. And if production's backed up, this guy stops and his trucks sit here with loads of sand, like this guy's doing right here, I think. That is set up to deliver their sand to this storage container. And that's it. So that's our main active sand mine for production. All the rest of the sand that we encounter, I want to truck it over here. So these guys are probably done capturing sand. We could set miners out to mine all this down and just move the sand over here. That would allow us to start filling this area in and make this useful land, right? Not waiting. That's what I'm wrestling with, is how to get that done. Guess there's not a whole lot of sand over here. We could start filling this whole side. Assuming that's not going to collapse any further. This whole side with dirt. Let's do that. In theory, that will all be level 2 and dirt. That's a way to get rid of some dirt nearby. I don't mind if these guys take their dirt straight over there. We might need to turn off our brickworks temporarily so we don't get trucks coming across the island. Let's do it. This will fill up and no one will use dirt. Sand, sand, sand. Who's going to encounter sand? We flatten this. We start digging this stuff out. We would need to move sand. That I think we can wait on that. No one really is terraforming in the sand areas at the moment. But we need to route rock and dirt for these guys. This guy's going to chew up a lot of rock and dirt. And where do we want to send that dirt? I guess. Don't know that I want to send it all the way across the island here. Feed this. We could. Then we'd have a supply of bricks all the time. And it would shore up our anemic concrete slab production and allow us to get more construction parts through our main factory assembly here. I'm not crazy about running a huge belt of dirt. Let's think about these guys for a minute. They're getting rock and they're getting dirt. The rock we want, guess, over this way. So let's take care of that for a bit. Boom. This is going to be rock. And we're going to assign this terraforming crew that's kind of flattening this whole area to this one. So their trucks aren't going all across the island. And let's take this rock. Boom. Up. We need to leave a way for excavators to get out of there. So maybe I'll cheat over a little bit this way. Always move this belt later, but what I really want is to start filling this area up. Let's put it nearby. Boom. Storage. This one can be a smaller one. We want this emptied out fast. This is going to be rock. Boom. Empty. Shaped conveyor. Don't care about the extra pillar right now. Boom. Okay, let's see where this crew is. I can look at their tower here. Assign a mind control tower. That is this one right here. This is the Teeth Area Terraforming crew. We've got just 2 excavators and 4 trucks. So let's get them linked into this guy. Boom. I don't know if I need to do a keep full on that. So that will prevent them from driving across the island with their rock, but they're still going to go all over the planet with their dirt. What do we want to do about that? Where can we get rid of dirt? I wish we could store it up. I wish we had the big storage containers. We have some problems to get to here. I think let's just take a quick look at everything. 58 workers. Trucks are busy. Unity looks awesome. In fact, let's store up something. Let's do quarantine. Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. Quarantine, that's new. Let's do food saver. Just to burn up some excess Unity and got room to store it. Kind of like cash in the bank or fuel in the bank. Okay, so that's, yeah, dirt is what we need to worry about yet. Next, I think we're just going to have to throw it away. And I can let them drive down here. There's a huge designation here for it. We could, yeah, I don't know. See here. Whoops. Just want to see what level we're on. Let's clear out all these designations that are completed. Okay, we're at level 2 there. That's the level we want to be at. So all this needs to be level 2. And we want it to be dirt. So I think there's a few more I'm waiting on, or are those done? Those look maybe like they're done. These are still filling to level 1. Kind of ramping down to it. So let's do a couple things. Do fill designations here with any material. We want flat, level 1 to there. All of this. So any material can go there, or at least the default. I think I took soil off the dirt. No, I didn't take dirt off. Man, tempted. Yeah, let's take dirt off and control where it gets dumped. A little nervous about doing that. Okay, and I think we have a mind control tower here that's just meant for fill designations. So let's at least fill in this middle area that we can. With dirt. Right? That's our top layer right there. Boom. Put some designations in. It looks like this row is done. And so we just want to level off to level 2 here. Build designation in the safe area. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's all going to be just dirt. That one looks like it's done, and then we'll ramp down so these guys can fill in the other materials that aren't dirt. There's a whole bunch of places to dump dirt. Do we want to belt it over there? We probably should. Man, it's way up here is where we have a ton of it. How would we do it without blocking trucks? Have to come in here, I guess. And the dirt could be used to, yeah, fill that top area. They wouldn't have to walk. They wouldn't have to drive so far, these guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not sure what the perfect arrangement would be for this, but we're working our way towards something better. This is going to be dirt. It should speed up the terraforming by doing it this way too. It's going to cost us some electricity, because the belts take electricity. All right, let's get this one set up. This is going to be, what do we say, dirt. And we want this always empty. And then the other side, we want to make sure we have it attached to that terraforming crew. And if I click an excavator and then do peekaboo, it takes me right to the one I need to connect or link up to it. All the dirt should go there. These guys, we shouldn't see too much. I don't think they're going to hit sand. They should just be hitting dirt and, yeah, dirt and rock. In fact, they may hit so much that we need to upgrade these belts, which I hate to waste a bunch of construction part 3s. But it could be we end up wanting to do that. Keep these guys busy. That's those guys. We have some dirt routed. This dirt looks like the coal miners are starting to fill in this area. That's not too far of a drive. All right, let's take a break from that and see where the problems are in the colony. Got a couple pickups that can't reach their destination. Where you're trying to go, buddy? Down there. These guys drive me crazy. They constantly get stuck. They like drive down and mine like the worst possible area and lock themselves in. This particular mine has been notorious for that. I'm just going to recover these guys. I may even recover this guy. Let's look at the mining designation. I'm not sure how we prevent that. They just seem to prioritize getting themselves trapped. I left this side open specifically so that they could always get back up, but not working. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I'm just gonna reset, let them go back and do their thing. Okay, iron deposit. Bridge crew has no designations to be mined in their area. We could actually use a bit more iron. These guys are doing their thing. These guys have been terraforming across the land. It's this crew here. Let's clear their old designations. All stuff is done. This stuff is done. Yes, we can put them back over in this area. Mining a bunch of iron. Boom. And we'll let them flatten. I think we're at level what? We're at level 1 already. So have at it, boys. Go for the mountains here. And hopefully we'll get enough rock from this crew to complete this land bridge. Kind of a big deal that that gets done. This one right here. And once we get to this iron, boy, we'll be pretty comfortable that we've got a stable iron supply for a long, long time. Plus we can start digging down here and then maybe prioritize filling the area between these two islands so we can dig deep and mine. Just see how these guys do. I might have surplus trucks here now. While we're over here, let's make sure these guys have a good amount of stuff to mine. Okay, that's you guys. There's your area. Guess I could have them flatten this sand and put one more storage container just to route the sand over to here, just to move it, all this stuff. Or I could leave these guys focused on this area. Maybe that's better. Let's get a mining designation. We'll just go flat. Level 1, all this, fellas. That's in their designations. That should keep those guys busy. We'll have a steady supply of dirt. Where is it? Wiggles under here. On its way. That can help fill this area. And we're most likely going to have to dump dirt in the ocean too. Over here. We'll just have to allow it. I think we're going to have excess dirt. Love to save it till we have land where we can actually make use of it for a top layer, but it's going to be a while, I think, before we get to that point. How's coal? Is it improving? Not really. That guy's got dirt and rocks. Drops off his rock. That helps instead of running across the island. And then he's going to dump his dirt here. We'll probably tap into this dirt line with another one for these guys to dump dirt over there. This is starting to fill in. Oh, man. Yeah, it doesn't look great, but it's getting there. All right, organic fertilizer. Let's see, what is that all about? Curious. Organic fertilizer. Gives us a recipe with compost and water, gets us fertilizer. Compost, and we make it. We can make it in the digester. We could take some extra potatoes. It would give us fuel gas that we could potentially use for power. One little compost. Just don't know which of these, if any of these recipes are like very efficient. You know, if it makes sense to do it this way. To produce, say, fuel gas out of potatoes and compost. Is that practical? A good use of the land? I don't know. Just don't. The other thing, let's see what else we got. We got food market level 2. Okay, dismiss that one. Then we have sulfur processing. That one's tempting. Sulfur processing. Vaguely remember what that was going to get us. Was that a different way to process our copper? Yeah, it's going to get us acid. The ability to make acid, and I think we have... Ooh, no, it's this one. Copper refinement will allow us to do that. Tree harvester level 2. Do we have the ability to plant trees yet? Ooh, don't. Canola. See tree. That got us the tree harvester. If I hit enter again, nope, I guess I just gotta do this little arrow. Okay, tree plantation. It's gonna be a while before we can plant trees. We may have to trade for wood. Or no, do we have that? We do have it. Tree plantation. Something we could be thinking about. I mean, we have a lot of trees right now. But say we filled in this land, this little patch here with dirt. Could make a little tree farm there. Or maybe closer to where we are using the wood. Right now our wood supply is right here. That's where we're filling in wood. Could put a little tree plantation somewhere around here, or even on this little patch of land. Have to think about it. Okay, that's our research so far. What else? What else? It's unpause. Tree harvester has no trees. I want to clear the areas that we're doing our terraforming so we don't lose trees. And that would be nice to get rid of as well. These guys are doing copper production. Oh, we never did make electronics here. These guys are actually trucking that copper. Oh, why? Where are you going to go? Going into this storage, which is meant for... which is meant only for the our shipyard. All right, let's turn off truck exports on this until we know what we're doing. Off, off. The plan was to do electronics with our new fuel line here to generate rubber out of that. Let's look at the rubber recipes again. I think there's a new one coming. Okay, diesel and sulfur get us rubber, or we can do the coal we've been doing. We have coal. Sulfur. Where do we get sulfur? I just right click on it and it'll tell me. Sour water gets us sulfur and water. Man, it's our sour water's way on the other side of the island, of course. Right, where are we dumping sour water? Right here. Man, could always pipe it. Would be nice to process this sour water. All right, it'd be cool if I could right click on that. Oh, you can. Nice. Okay, here's how we can consume it. It gets us sulfur, ammonia. Does ammonia pollute? It does. I don't think we can go backwards, can we? Ammonia pollutes sulfur. Could I dump sulfur? You can burn it, or you can turn it into rubber instead of coal, right? Sulfur instead of coal. Takes 3 sulfur. We could look at doing that, converting over our rubber production even over here. It would be nice to start cleaning up some of the pollution. That would involve a bell to sulfur, probably traveling up through here somewhere. Up. And into here. It wouldn't be horrible. And then we just get rid of this coal belt, I guess. Assuming we had enough sulfur to make it work. And then if we had excess sulfur, can we just dump it? Just dump it in the ocean? Use it as fill? Let's see. Oh. What's the product? They don't let us dump it. Is that right? Let's see. let us dump sulfur. How's that possible? Okay. Can you dump... Oh, you can't dump salt either. Oh, I was kind of planning to dump salt and use that as fill. Because we can generate tons of salt. Gravel we can dump. Okay, well, let's think about that. We start producing sulfur. If we produce too much, I guess we could just dump the sour water, right? That would be our escape valve. And like I said, we'd belt up sulfur here, or we say, forget doing rubber processing up here. We don't need to be near this diesel installation. Doesn't matter. We can do rubber anywhere we want. We could do it. Where is it used? Coming down through here. That's just used there. We could do rubber production here. Tap into this diesel potentially, right? Take a look at that again. Diesel and sulfur. Why don't we think about doing that? Sour water. We need steam to do it. We could generate some steam from our waste product, and then we're going to get excess water too that we're going to have to get rid of. Sour water stripper. Do we have that? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Maybe over here. Thinking of doubling up on this refining too. Sour water stripper. Water. Don't really have a water return line. Need to dump excess water. We can use it obviously in the boiler here. Prioritize that water versus this water. That's a bit of a project. Let's do that next episode though. Let's think about doing the sour water stripper, running sulfur maybe up through here, and doing rubber production somewhere out this way where we have some, yeah, somewhere out this way. We could even get rid of some of these water collectors maybe. Move these pipes around, and then we could produce rubber here and still keep producing electronic parts out this way for a while till our copper runs out. And then what will we do? I'm not sure. Yeah, let's think about that for next episode. Can at least reduce a tiny bit of pollution, and we'll experiment with a new production line. But yeah, let's leave it here for now. Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching. If you like this content, please do remember to hit that like button. Helps my tiny channel. With that, I will see you all in the next episode.